Friedman of Adult Site Broker, and welcome to Adult Site Broker Talk, where each week we interview one of the movers and shakers of the adult industry, and we give you a tip on buying and selling websites. This week we'll be speaking with Jordan J. of Fantasi. We've doubled our affiliate payouts at ASB Cash. Now, when you refer sellers or buyers to us, you'll receive 20% of our broker commission on any and all sales that result from that referral for life. Check out asbcash.com for more details and to sign up. And we're proud to announce our latest project, thewaronporn.com. You'll find articles from industry websites as well as mainstream publications. It's designed to raise awareness of our industry's plight in the war on porn and the numerous attacks on our industry. You'll find all that and more at thewaronporn.com. Now time for our property of the week that's for sale at Adult Site Broker. We're proud to offer a white label cam site that's rapidly growing month over month. It's tracking to more than double its business from 2023 to this year. This is an excellent opportunity if you're already in the live cam business or want to enter it. All traffic is either direct or organic. This is excellent for a company with cam traffic or one willing to purchase more traffic for the site. Best of all, the site is easy to maintain. Someone could easily add additional sites through the admin system without doing any more work. This gives you truly passive income with 0 hours required to maintain it. Only $479,000. Now time for this week's interview. My guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk is Jordan J. of Fantasi. Jordan, thanks for being with us on Adult Site Broker Talk.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you. Now, Jordan is the digital marketing manager at Fantasi, and let me spell that, Fantasi, and he joined the company in January of this year. Jordan has a degree in business. The degree included various marketing modules, which is how he discovered his passion for digital marketing. The first 10 years of Jordan's career involved working in-house for various professional services companies, including an accountancy firm and a company that specialized in online education. Although Jordan is passionate about digital marketing, he found it extremely boring working for professional services companies. I understand that. Feeling like he was gradually burning out and losing his passion for the job, he knew he needed a change. When he first started looking for a new role, he knew that he wanted to work in an industry that he found exciting and interesting, but the adult industry never crossed his mind, and he would have never been able to guess that he would end up working for an adult platform. Working in the adult industry is very different from professional services, so it was quite challenging and hard to adapt. However, working for Fantasi, Jordan's passion for the job has been restored. Fantasi is an adult content subscription platform that was launched in October 2023. Due to the popularity of TikTok and Instagram Reels, and of course, OnlyFans, Fantasi was created to take the best bits of these platforms and put them into one unique concept. When you land on Fantasi, you're greeted with a short video that's automatically playing, and you can simply swipe to get the next one. This short-form video format, coupled with the never-ending scroll feed, was inspired by TikTok and Instagram Reels. User behavior has shifted in recent years, and there's a growing demand for short-form content over longer-form content. Fantasi aims to address this when it comes to consuming adult videos. Although OnlyFans accepts a wide range of content creators, adult content creators have found much success at Fantasi due to the fact they provide users with authentic and relatable adult content. That's why Fantasi chose the content creator route to populate its platform with content rather than creating a generic video sharing platform. Thanks to Fantasi, the discovery of new creators and the ability to subscribe to them and access their exclusive content can all be done on one platform. When Fantasi first launched, it mainly targeted Asian creators and users in that area, as there was less competition in these markets. As a result, Fantasi is already well established among Asian audiences. Now, Fantasi has ambitious plans to become one of the leading adult content subscription platforms in the world. You can follow them on X at Fantasi1, and I'll spell that again, Fantasi1. They're also on Instagram and TikTok at fantasi.com, and that's Fantasi.1, rather, not .com. So, Jordan, tell us a bit about yourself besides what I already mentioned and what you did before joining Fantasi.
Yeah, so to give you a bit of background, I was one of those guys that finished school and didn't have an idea what I wanted to do. So that's how I ended up doing a business studies degree, which gave me a lot of different experience. So there was like modules on like accountancy, law, and all these different areas. But it was the marketing modules that really stood out to me. I think it was the creative side of marketing that appealed to me. So then that's the career I pursued after university. I kind of fell into a role because like marketing is very competitive. I fell into a role in an accountancy firm, being my first job. Even though the industry wasn't really appealing to me, I thought I'd better take it. And then 5 years down the line, I was still stuck at that same accountancy firm. And I think the issue is once you have experience in a certain area, you only get approached by other companies in that same industry, or only get approached by recruiters recruiting for that same industry. So I kind of got stuck in a series of roles in professional services companies. And as you mentioned, over time, even though I enjoyed marketing, I enjoyed my job, the products that I was marketing and the industries that I was in just really didn't appeal to me. I couldn't get passionate about it. I couldn't really get interested in it. And yeah, so I knew something needed to change. So I began my job search, only really applying for jobs that sounded interesting or industries sounded interesting. But the issue was a lot of them were saying, like, for example, say it was a clothing brand. They were saying, oh, we want someone with experience in retail or within fashion. But Fantasi came along, and I think being the adult industry and being quite a niche industry, they were more open to recruiting someone that had marketing experience, but not necessarily experience in the adult industry. So it was just sort of like a perfect opportunity for me. So yeah, I took the job. I've been here just over 6 months now. And I can say that I've found my passion again. The industry's very fast moving. It's very competitive, and it always keeps you on your toes. So yeah, I'm enjoying the new challenge.
Oh, definitely. Let's see. Accountancy or naked women? I got to think about that one for just a second. Anyway.
Yeah, a bit of a no-brainer.
So you did a job search. You found Fantasi. You end up going to this company in the adult entertainment space. Talk about the process and what happened after you contacted them.
Yeah, so after I got in touch with them, I had an interview. As they knew I didn't have experience in the adult industry, the interview was mainly revolved around my marketing knowledge and the marketing skills I had. Because they was aware that I would have to just sort of like learn to apply those skills to the new industry as I went along. But it was it's been a lot more challenging than I sort of first anticipated. In the past, I relied quite heavily on Google Ads. It was always one of the most rewarding ways to invest my marketing budget. But being the adult industry, you can't use Google Ads to market your website if you have like nudity on it as soon as you land on the website. So I've had to adapt my sort of like marketing approach and sort of rely on different areas to get our name out there.
Okay. Has that been your biggest challenge, or what's your biggest challenge been since joining Fantasi?
Yeah, I'd say learning to adapt, because in the past, I would say maybe like 80% of my marketing budget would go on Google Ads. And even though it'd be seen as a spend, I never actually saw it as a spend because I always got a return on investment. So it's more of like an investment rather than a spend. Where here, the only sort of paid advertising I can do is run display ads. In the past, I've only ever run display ads on sort of like industry websites that are very closely aligned to whatever the product was that I was marketing. And then we've had to rely on other areas more like social media, PR and SEO, things like that.
Sure. What other challenges have you found?
Well, I suppose the team's bigger here. So in the past, I'm used to being in charge of a team of maybe like 2 or 3 people max. Where at Fantasi, I'm in charge of the traffic team. They're responsible for all our display and paid advertising and our SEO. So that's a team of 4 people. And then I'm also head of the social media team, which is a team of 3 people. So yeah, so it's a lot bigger team to manage. So it took some getting used to, but it's a great team. They're very creative people. Everyone's sort of very willing to help each other out and bounce ideas off each other. There's always challenges and problems to overcome, such as social media ads getting rejected or our social media accounts getting shadow banned and online ads getting rejected. And yeah, it's constant problems to deal with. But I've got a great team to sort of rely upon and to help me out.
Absolutely. Talk a bit about Fantasi and what it offers to creators.
Yeah, so Fantasi essentially is a short form video platform, and it's inspired by and is essentially a cross between TikTok and OnlyFans. So what I mean by that is the user interface is very similar to TikTok with the never-ending video scroll feed. So you land on the platform, you have a video playing, and you can scroll and scroll and scroll, and the feed will never end, theoretically. But the difference is, rather than it just being a generic video platform that's just got loads of random videos, maybe user uploaded videos, things like that, our platform is creator-centric. So we want that authenticity to stay on the platform. So even though you can endlessly scroll all of our free videos, if you find someone that you like, all you have to do is click on their profile and then you can see their exclusive content and you can subscribe to them to see it.
Okay. What's the monetization model there? People, I guess, pay for premium content?
Yeah, so you can subscribe to an individual creator. So monthly subscription fees start at $3 and they go up to $20. But we let our creators set their own content strategy so they can set their own prices. And outside of that, there's a shop section. So the subscription content might be, each creator's different, but they might say upload 1 new video per day, which might be up to 10 minutes long. But in their shop section, they might have full length videos, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And users can also send tips to creators. They can message creators, so you can build a rapport with the creators. And users can also use the direct messaging functionality to request either bespoke content or things like dick pic ratings or just to chat. And then when the creator sends that bespoke content back to the user, they can password protect it, which it doesn't unlock until the user pays, basically.
Sure. So these are girls that actually ask for dick pics, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I hope they're kind.
Yeah.
They have a vested interest to be kind. Oh, that's the biggest I've ever seen in my life. Wow. All of 3 inches.
Yeah, maybe one creator will come along and their niche will be that they're just brutally honest.
God forbid. How did the idea to create Fantasi come about? Take us back to the beginning.
Yeah, so I can't take credit for the idea, unfortunately, but our founder was just scrolling on, I think it was either TikTok or Instagram one day, scrolling through Reels. Their feed is geared up to maybe promote girls and good-looking girls. So they were scrolling through, found this girl that he really, really liked, thought she was really beautiful, clicked on her profile, and then saw that she was on OnlyFans. But when he clicked the link, it took him to his browser, which then popped up OnlyFans. He wasn't an OnlyFans user at the time, so he would have had to create an account, add his payment information, and then subscribe to this girl in order to see her content. And I think that process sort of triggered something in him. And he thought, I think there might be a gap in the market here. having a platform that combines both elements, the sort of scrolling endlessly through videos until you find something you like, and putting that into the same platform where the exclusive content would be. So like the discovery and the purchasing phase of the process can all be done on one platform.
Mm-hmm. That's great. What makes Fantasi different from other content monetization platforms and other fan sites out there?
Yeah, so on the other ones, I'll use OnlyFans as an example. When you first create an account, your feed is completely blank. So from a creator's point of view, say you're either new to the industry or you don't have a big social media following, if you then decide to become an adult creator, it's very hard for you to build up a following, to get noticed, or to like stand out from all the other creators out there. The big difference about Fantasi is it doesn't matter if you're not a creator today. By the end of the day, on Fantasi, you can be getting organic impressions. So all you need to do is upload a mix of subscription content and free content and upload regularly. And our algorithm will push the creators' content on our free feed. We get thousands and thousands of website visits per day. So creators joining Fantasi can get thousands of impressions completely for free from day one. And they can use Fantasi to build up their following directly on the platform rather than trying to create social media content that won't get banned, that stands out, gets engagement, build up the following to then drive them to a different platform to monetize the content. They can just do it all on one platform on Fantasi. And we're not saying that they can't do that social media content at the same time. That will only help. Yeah, Fantasi offers creators a way to get started, build a following, and to build a closer relationship with their fans.
And let's face it, doesn't a fairly new platform like Fantasi give a creator a much better chance to break through the clutter than, say, an OnlyFans?
Yeah, exactly. But I would also say it was ideal for established creators too, because if they've got a following on social media and they have fans on OnlyFans, joining a different platform helps them reach a completely new pool of people. As you mentioned before, we have a lot of users in Asia. So for like Western creators, a lot of their fans and followers might already be from like Western countries. So this is a very easy way to target a completely new pool of people.
Yeah. What kinds of creators do you have on Fantasi?
Oh, it's a very broad mix of creators. Our censorship rules are not very stringent, so a lot of BDSM creators find it hard to create content that OnlyFans accepts. So we have everything from softcore creators to hardcore creators. We have creators from countries all over the world. We've looked through our list of creators and there's over 100 countries. We have male and female creators. We have straight creators, gay creators, trans creators. So yeah, a very, very broad mix.
That's great. How can users interact with creators on your platform?
Yeah, so once a user is subscribed to a creator, they can then access the direct messaging functionality. So they can message the creator, whether that's just one-way communication, or they can start a conversation with the creator. They can request bespoke content. Sometimes people like jerk-off instructions, things like that. Or sometimes they just want daily updates of what the creator's been doing. So if the creator's got their nails done or something, they might tip them for a picture of it. Yeah, it depends on the user, really. Depends what they want to get out of the platform.
Sure. I didn't know that guys needed instructions on how to jerk off.
Yeah, it's very popular at the moment, really. Yeah,
really?
It's very popular. Yeah.
Put your hand here. Put your penis there. Okay, whatever. It just came naturally as a teenager. I mean, I never needed any instruction, that's for sure.
Oh, you didn't have a manual, no?
No, didn't need it. Oh, there's Penthouse Magazine. Okay, that'll work. So stuck inside of Sports Illustrated, just in case mom checked it out. So anyway, what support do you provide to creators?
So we support creators in lots of different ways, and it sort of depends on how much support the creator needs. And so some creators, they just create their account, they upload their content, and they just get on with it themselves. We don't really get involved. Other creators, sometimes they need a bit of support. And so they might have a lot of content and they're not sure what to make as free, what to add to subscription content, what to add to their shop. So we can help them with their content strategy. We can even edit videos for them. So say they have maybe like a long video that they need to then turn into like preview or a trailer for their free feed. Or if they need to clip it into a video for social media, then we can help them with that. We also have a production team. So some creators, they have a lot of potential, but they might not have like the skills or the equipment to make professional looking content. Our production team is based in London. So this one, it's not available for everyone unless they're willing to travel. But if they're UK based, then we can set them up with our production team and help them produce professional quality content. And we also support creators by promoting them. So on our social media channels, we promote all new creators, plug their social media as well. Because our sort of ethos is, even if we're helping someone else build up their following, if they're driving their fans to our platform, then it's sort of a win-win for everyone anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would imagine the things you just listed, you're not going to find available on other platforms.
No, especially not like the big platforms. They won't be given those levels of support.
No, not at all. So that's something you guys should definitely be shouting about, as I imagine you do.
Yeah. And I also forgot to mention PR as well. So for like some creators that have a good story, then we'll let them utilize our PR agency, and then we'll put out a press release about some creators as well.
That's fabulous. Yeah, it sounds like you do more for them than other platforms for sure. What famous creators and influencers have joined Fantasi?
Yeah, so we've got quite a few. So there's creators that have sort of like, let's say like moderately famous, and others that are more famous. So we have creators that maybe you wouldn't consider as famous, but they have a very big following. So for example, we have this guy that's like a PT and he does like naked workouts. So he's got hundreds of thousands of followers on his social media. But then we also have people like Annie Knight, who has been in the news quite a lot recently. She was dubbed the most sexually active woman in Australia.
Good for her.
Yeah, what an achievement. She slept with 300 people in 1 year. And then this year, her target is 400 people, I think. Constantly improving.
Hey, you know what? Whatever you do, you should improve every year.
Exactly.
Anybody else you want to mention?
Yeah, so we've got Bonnie Blue, who's a British-born creator that now lives in Australia. And she's also in the news quite regularly because she's quite a controversial creator in terms of how she creates content. So rather than like collaborating with other creators, what she does is she goes to things like spring break in Cancun, or she walks around London with a sign saying, "Boink me for free, just let me film it." So she basically finds sort of young, horny guys that are willing to sleep with her in exchange for her being able to film it. So she filmed content with loads of university students in London. We call it Freshers here. I don't know if you have it in America as well.
What do you call it?
It's called Freshers. So like the first week of university, it'll be like Freshers Week, and it's basically just like every night is a different like nightclub event, and everyone spends the whole week getting drunk. So she went to all like the Freshers events and made herself known and found like university students to film content with.
That's probably where she got like 290 of them.
Yeah.
So anybody else?
Yeah, so we've got a girl called Grace Wears Lace. She's an Australian creator as well. She's quite popular because she grew up in a very strict religious family. She was homeschooled and her parents wouldn't let her have boyfriends or anything. And then she turned 18 and then became an adult content creator. But she also has two older sisters. and all three of them have ended up in the adult industry. So one of them, I think, is an escort, and the other is a stripper. So yeah, she got some press coverage for that. We have another creator called Hong Kong Doll, who our English-speaking listeners probably won't have heard of her, but she's very famous in Asia.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Oh, you've heard of her? Okay, nice. Yeah, so there's a lot of speculation about what she truly looks like because she always wears a face mask to film her content.
Awesome. What are Fantasy's current goals?
Yeah, so our sort of short-term goals is to expand into the Western market more. We have like a lot of creators based in Asia, so therefore the platform naturally attracts users based in Asia. So we just want a lot more Western creators just to add a bit more variety on the platform. It's already improving, but we just want it to be sort of, when you land on Fantasi, there's a complete balance, no matter what you're looking for, no matter how specific your fetish is or how specific the content you're looking for is or how specific the type of creator you're looking for is. So yes, we're looking for more balance, and also it's to like constantly improve the platform. So we're always asking for feedback from our creators and users, trying to find ways that we can optimize it and improve the platform.
The only way to get better is to ask your customers, and they're both your customers.
Yeah, exactly.
What are your platform's plans for the future?
Plans for the future, as I just said, make the platform better. So we're not sure all the ways that we'll do that at the moment, but some of the things we have in the pipeline is adding live streaming functionality. So that would give like the same way that creators can get organic impressions from adding content. We think that adding the live streaming functionality would give the creators a way to address their fans all at once. But then if we added a streaming now section to our platform, then it would also give them an opportunity to increase their audience further, because users could just sort of click on that section, see who's currently live, join their live stream, and then maybe follow them if they like what they see.
That's great. That's kind of combining the fan site content with campsite content, or concept rather, as opposed to content. I got content on the brain right now. Why would content creators join Fantasi as opposed to other platforms?
Yeah, so I'd say like the real draw of joining Fantasi rather than another platform is the fact that you can get instant impressions from joining Fantasi, which the other platforms can't offer. Also, all the support services we offer would be a reason for them to join us rather than someone else. But we're not saying that we want creators to only join Fantasi. If they're already using another platform, that's fine. We're just saying there's a lot of benefits to joining Fantasi as well. You can use it to significantly increase your following, significantly increase your fans, significantly increase your earning potential.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're on OnlyFans, one way to increase your OnlyFans traffic is to be popular on another platform like Fantasi, right?
Yeah, exactly. And some creators already do it by using things like Pornhub. They'll have free videos on Pornhub, and then they'll drive that traffic to their OnlyFans. We're saying that join Fantasi as well, and you can target a completely new audience.
How do you protect your creators' content from piracy?
Yeah, so we have quite a few different ways that we do that. So we have a proprietary DRM system, so that ensures our content is encrypted. We add visible and invisible watermarks to the content. So the visible watermarks deter unauthorized sharing, but the invisible watermarks help us trace the content if it's leaked. And we also have automated content monitoring systems in place. And we also can help out with like takedown requests and even legal measures if that's necessary. Our platform is also quite secure, and we conduct like weekly audits to ensure that our platform's still secure, to identify any areas that we can improve on. So yeah, we're always trying to sort of optimize our security.
Sure. How about the security for a user? How secure is it for them?
Yeah, so we use Stripe for our payment system. So it's a very secure payment processing platform, and we have all of the security features on the platform. So yeah, it's very secure. We've not had any breaches or any security issues as of yet.
But there've been on a lot of websites, you hear about data breaches. How does Fantasi make that secure for your users that you won't have one of those?
That would be a question for the IT team, I'm afraid.
Okay. But I would imagine you guys have some strong measures in place to keep that from happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to throw you a curve there. It just came to mind.
It's okay.
Since we're talking about users, let's say I'm a user and I go to these different fan sites. Maybe I go to OnlyFans. What would make me sign up for Fantasi? Convince me.
Yeah, so I'd say the reason why you should sign up for Fantasi rather than OnlyFans is if you sign up for OnlyFans, your feed is going to be very bare. And in order to make it not bare, you have to start spending a lot of money. And you don't even know what the content's like, the quality of the content you're buying is going to be until it's too late. So the good thing about Fantasi is it gives you the opportunity to explore all of our content and creators before you have to pay any money. And you don't even need to pay any money. If you're happy with the free videos and the free content that's on offer, then you can just use Fantasi for free. You only have to pay if there's like a particular creator that you really like, or maybe you saw a preview of a video and you really want to see the full video. So I'd say that's one of the main reasons. But Fantasi also offers like a new way to consume porn. I think there's a lot of people that spend more time searching for the perfect video than they do actually jerking off. They like open like loads of different tabs on Pornhub. They'll like skim through them and they're quite picky, basically. So on Fantasi, it sort of saves all that time. The free videos are like relatively short. So it enables you to get through quite a few videos in a minute. So it doesn't take long for you to find like the perfect video or find the perfect creator.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the quality of the free videos. It sounds like they're pretty high quality and there's lots of them.
Yeah, there are. Yeah. So we try and advise creators to only put like previews and like teasing content on their free feed. But some of them, especially like the hardcore creators, what they would consider as teasing, another person might consider hardcore. So yeah, for the free videos, there is quite a broad mix, and there's a lot of videos to get through.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question. You've been in the industry now for a brief time. Give me your impression of this industry now as compared to what it was before you came into the industry. What did you think then, and what do you think now?
So before, I just assumed that everyone used Pornhub and that was it. Since joining the industry, I can see how competitive it is. It's opened my eyes to how much traffic there is and how much traffic there is to compete for. So yeah, it's changed my mindset a lot.
No, but I mean, my main question, that question has to do more with your impression of what the industry is like, what the people are like, what the work is like. I mean, when you were interviewing, right before you interviewed, I'm sure you had some images of what the adult industry is all about. And how has that changed since you've worked in it?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little bit seedy, and I thought I'd be working with maybe like middle-aged men that were, I don't know, a little bit greasy and a bit sweaty sort of thing. From meeting people in the industry, it seems that it's quite a young industry and a very creative industry. Everyone that I've met has like very, very different backgrounds. Like I've met people that used to be like photographers or fashion directors, all different backgrounds that sort of ended up in the adult industry. And I think that goes back to what I was saying before, that in order to work in this industry, a lot of the time you don't need previous experience in the adult industry. So the result of that is you end up with a very eclectic group of people. So yeah, it's quite hard to define the sort of people that work in adult industry. It's very varied.
We're pretty nice too.
Yeah, very friendly. Yeah, very friendly. My perception of what the creators would maybe be, I don't know how to say this without being rude, but I thought maybe the creators would sort of not really know what they're doing. They're just sort of creating content, uploading it just to try and make some money. And maybe they had like another job on the side, or they were a bit desperate for money. Where my perception of creators has changed a lot, because some of them are like very, very business minded. They like come to us with ideas and they know how to make money. So like where we're trying to sell Fantasi to them, they're like, yeah, great. I already know that. Like, I was thinking we can do like this and this. Yeah.
There's some really good minds in this industry. And what you're finding these days is there's a lot of people like yourself who came from mainstream business. And the more people who come from mainstream, the better this industry will get. Okay? Because the old guard is slowly leaving and the new guard's coming in. I came from mainstream. I was in radio and advertising, mainstream advertising, before I came into this industry. So a lot of the people who've done adult their whole lives, that's kind of phasing out. And what you're seeing all these people come in from mainstream that are really sharp and have lots of good ideas.
Yeah, that's definitely what I've experienced.
Well, I'm glad we changed your mind.
Yeah.
Jordan, I'd like to thank you for being our guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk, and I hope we get a chance to do this again soon.
Yes, thank you very much for having me. Really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. My broker tip today is part 5 of what to do to make your site more valuable for when you decide to sell it later. Last week, we talked about new ways to monetize your site. Next, eliminate unneeded expenses. Constantly make sure you're not spending money you don't need to. Make sure there isn't duplication in your staffing. From time to time, check services you pay for like hosting and see if there are better and less expensive options. Take it from me. I've done this and saved a bunch, plus got higher quality hosting in the process. Again, ask us for recommendations. Along with this, make your profit and loss statement show more profit. Increasing sales and reducing expenses obviously does just that. Make sure your P&L statement accurately reflects your company's actual costs, not a bunch of personal expenses you put in. This will cost you money when you sell. It may help you with the tax man to put that stuff on your tax return, but it hurts you if you show that stuff on your profit and loss statement when you sell. Remember, every dollar in profit increases the value of your website as much as 3 to 4 times. This is why you need a good, experienced broker to help lead you through the process. We've gotten people thousands of dollars more on their sale just by adjusting the P&L statement to reflect actual business expenses as opposed to a bunch of BS. We'll talk about this subject more next week. And next week, we'll be speaking with Savannah Sly of New Moon Network. And that's it for this week's Adult Site Broker Talk. I once again like to thank my guest, Jordan J. of Fantasi. Talk to you again next week on Adult Site Broker Talk. I'm Bruce Friedman.